Stop turning back! Run, man! How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today's film I'm going to be watching is Night of the Demon from 1957. So continuing on with the horror films I've on this week and next week, and then I'll be moving back to westerns. That is the plan. Yeah, don't know anything about this. I think that just that it's set in England is the only thing I know on this film. But guys, as always, like most of my reactions, there'll be full uncut reactions to this as well. That'll be available on my Patreon page, so if you'd like to become a patron to support the channel further, you can join that. Link will be in the description to support the channel further. Different tiers with different perks. Would really appreciate that. Or alternatively, you can become a channel member. There's some perks on there too as well, here on the YouTube channel. Again, another way to help to support the channel. Would really appreciate that. Would be fantastic. And a quick shout out to my patrons and to my channel members, to Mary, to Gigi Gooding, to Ravi, to Mihal, to Blaze, to Benny, and to Frank. Thank you so much. But with that said, let's watch Night of the Demon.
The demons of hell. The cults of evil have endured and exist to this day.
All the makings of a setting for a horror film.
Call it off, Carswell. Stop this thing you've started, and I'll admit publicly that I was totally wrong and that you were totally right.
I protested. You said, do your worst. And that's precisely what I did.
Please, Carswell.
You still got that parchment I gave you.
The runic symbols, no, they burned. I couldn't stop it. Then you will help me?
I'll do all that I can.
Carswell, if you only knew.
I do know.
Something tells me he's going to get killed on the way out. Heck is that? Is that the demon? Yeah, electrocuted. Of course, they'll say that he got electrocuted. There was an accident, and that's how he died. So it'll be early on, anyway, in the film.
I can't get out.
Jeez.
Seem to be bothering the gentleman in front of me. I'm afraid it's impossible. We're full up. Oh, thank you.
Just gonna have to move him again now.
Thanks.
Anytime.
He's dead.
We're the press, sir. Could you spare a few minutes?
What makes me news?
Ghosts.
Oh, we wouldn't see any more of this woman after the flight.
What exactly is the function of this convention you're attending?
Paranormal psychology.
What psychology?
To say mind reading, fortune telling, spirits, and...
Could you check it then? It's to Professor Harrington's house.
That is the
Ah.
but I'm sorry. the
She's
line
linked to
doesn't
him as well.
open.
So they'll definitely cross paths again, so...
Professor Harrington was found dead this morning.
Found dead?
House. It was a terrible accident. He must have died instantly.
We persuaded to speak up, a farmer named Rand Hobart was arrested several weeks ago as an alleged murderer. A short while ago at the asylum, I succeeded in rousing Hobart. Under hypnosis, he produced this drawing, probably similar to these copies of old woodcuts and medieval drawings of a fire demon invoked by witchcraft to...
Why was the professor an enemy?
Witchcraft have been discredited since the Middle Ages, O'Brien. I wrote a book about it. That's why I'm here.
Julian Carswell speaking.
Speak of the devil.
Yes. What can I do for you?
Simply this. The newspapers say you're heading this so-called expose of my activities.
I suggest you have some second thoughts on this.
Such as?
Such as minding your business, not mine or Rand Hobart. Out of respect for him, you might do the same.
Can you prove that, Mr. Carswell?
At his personal assurance.
I'm afraid you can't have mine.
For the true discoveries of the witches and demons is not available.
Your man took it out.
What does not available mean?
Hope so, sir. Do my best to trace it.
You're
That's
interested in seeing the true discoveries of witches and demons, is that it?
Yes?
I have what is perhaps the finest library in the world on witchcraft and the black arts. Why not come out to my place in the country? The book's there.
And I can sick the demon on you.
Investigation of you and your cult won't be stopped.
Oh, we'll be seeing you soon, I'm sure. Oh. Excuse me, how comes it? Here are your papers, sir.
They steal a piece of it.
Goodbye.
I'm just curious, did the demon do anything to him after he was electrocuted? Or did they...
Aren't you?
Yes, on the plane.
Did you know the professor?
Did you?
Yes, I worked with him.
I'm Joanna Harrington. Professor Harrington was my uncle.
My deepest sympathies. What's all that writing about, anyway?
Letters to my pupils about my trip to America. I'm a kindergarten teacher. I believe you're in danger.
Oh?
Of?
I found my uncle's
from?
diary. It's all in here. Horrible happened to him. Something unexplainably horrible. I'd like to read it to you.
Go ahead.
So,
Today I found the parchment in the concert program Carswell gave me. It had runic symbols drawn on it. Unfortunately, you came too late.
What you're trying to tell me is your uncle was killed by witchcraft.
it would seem so.
As a doctor, I can assure you, you're wrong. It's a pure
You
case
can't
of
sanction the
autosuggestion.
buffoonery.
Not a thing that happened that couldn't have been an accident. You see, Miss
Have you
Harrington,
looked into it?
the shock of finding your uncle dead.
I love my uncle very much, and I want to know exactly what happened to him. You don't seem to share my view. Good night.
Not at all. Just my annual Halloween party for the village children. I'll come right up.
It looks a little creepy, I have to say.
This years ago, you see before you Dr. Bobo, the Magnificent.
Oh, excuse me, this is Miss Joanna Harrington.
Miss Harrington is a niece of Henry Harrington's. Dr. Holden's going to borrow a book from my library. I've asked them to stay. Snakes and Ladders. An English game, you wouldn't know it.
Still a great game. I played that
If you
game.
land at the foot of the ladder, you'll climb up to the top. What is this twilight? This half-world of the mind that you profess to know so much about? And the powers of the mind.
Jesus Christ. Fucking hell. I'd watch him. I don't trust him at all.
Too much.
You're talking in riddles.
To prove my point, a medieval witch's specialty, a windstorm. At 10 o'clock on the 28th of this month, your time allowed
like
is
a
just
fortune
3
teller.
days from now. First, weakness and unsureness, and then horror as the fear of what is behind you grips your heart.
Henry, dear.
What especially interests you?
The power of the runic symbols.
The storm is ended. I'm sure you and the doctor are anxious to return to London.
It was a lovely party, wasn't it?
Reminds me of the line in The Shining, where she sees that guy with the blood in him in the glass. Great party, isn't it?
Home.
That's the first thing you've said for half an hour.
What's the use of talking? It has no effect. How a man who's been told he'll die in exactly 3 days can consider sleeping is all the proof I need of the supernatural.
So the way I see it, that's an interesting hallway. I like that long hallway. It has a Shining vibe about it. Now that's creepy. The long, narrow hallways, I do find that creepy. Almost disorienting. Is that footsteps? Behind you.
Nice of you to drop in, Coomer. Oh, good evening, Holden.
Besides, I've met this Carswell. He's just a harmless faker.
You are a very skeptical man.
I'm not sure how
Give him a
skeptic he
nightcap?
is right now,
I
though.
wouldn't mind. Coomer?
About creepy things or strange events, you do kind of get unnerved at times. Even like when you watch a horror film and then you're somewhere alone, if it's dark or something and you're going to bed, your mind does play those tricks with you a little bit.
Say, show me. I say, look for yourself. Very pleasant.
He's most dangerous when he's being pleasant.
Either of you could recognize this tune. It goes something like this.
Wait, was that what he heard at the corridor?
It sounds like a distortion of an Irish folk tune. About.
Well, that takes care of that. I guess I must have heard it somewhere.
You're not leaving us after the 28th, are you?
No.
Well, it's just that all the pages after the 28th are torn out.
When he dropped... Remember when he was picking up the stuff for him? I'd say he ripped something. But it wasn't a book. They were like just like sheets. Close the door, guys. Why would you leave that open? I like her dress. It's nice.
Don't you think eating by candlelight is romantic? You wouldn't deny a dying man a last request, would you?
You listen when... Today I found all the pages of my desk calendar torn out after October the 22nd.
Oh.
Why? He died on the 22nd.
Oh, that's creepy. Like, you definitely have to take that seriously now.
See, when a tribal witch doctor puts a hex on his victim, he always lets the victim know well beforehand. It would make you feel better. A parchment has to be passed. And the person has to take it without knowing, and I still don't.
Then what killed my uncle?
An accident with a falling power line killed him.
Burned.
That's the logical answer.
His body was mutilated horribly. He did give you the parchment.
Look, they told me this was the Hobart farm. If it is, I've got to see Mrs. Hobart.
It's a lot of people.
Rand Hobart, your son?
He was my son.
He hasn't been proven to be the killer, Mrs. Hobart.
Speak your business.
I had a group of scientists who would like to examine him and try and find out what it was that drove him out of his mind.
Time will come, and them that have no true belief shall be accursed.
What do you want to do with him?
We'll have to have the written permission of the next of kin before he can be released to us. So I was hoping you would sign this release paper, Mr.
Do you do this for him? What be it to us what they want?
Let them all know what he saw.
I'll let you know what happens.
He has been chosen.
What do you mean?
What the hell is going on? Why was he looking all blurry at them? Is this the genesis of where the demon was first conjured up, first came to be?
I promised Mrs. Carswell I'd bring you here.
Mrs. Carswell?
John, she wants to help you.
Your problems will be solved, you'll see.
That's... I must be insane to get involved in a thing like this.
John, please.
Very well, Maggie.
Cherry ripe, ripe, I cry, ripe.
He's going off.
So ridiculous in some ways. You're just like, how can I entertain this, you know?
Can't you feel it?
Other than that,
Oh, Mummy! Oh, Mummy!
These things are all faked.
But it is my uncle. I know his voice.
Please, you'll hurt Mr. Meek.
It's too strong.
He means you must give up the investigation.
This is crazy.
Mommy! No!
That does it.
Turn the light on. He's in a trance.
Trance my eye.
Maggie.
I was gonna do like trans me arse.
Mr. Holden! Oh, don't go on, Mr. Holden!
But like, in real life, me is telling me a lot of nonsense, but I've seen the demon at the beginning.
It would be easier to stop Carswell's demon than a woman who has her mind made up.
No lights are showing.
If anybody finds you there, the charge will be burglary.
There's nothing I'd like better than to find out that this has all been put on just to scare you off.
Let's see if I can get into the house.
Oh, he's got
It
away.
was my idea.
You didn't think for a minute that I'd let you go in there, did you?
Maybe you should park up somewhere else, though. He's starting to get a little uneasy. Okay, it's the window open, but maybe they know he's coming, and that's like a plant. watch your back now. Psycho a bit when that guy went up the stairs and then he came out of nowhere and just stabbed him in the shoulder. Oof, jeez. What the hell? Things are getting a little unorthodox. Okay, now that is creepy. Jeez, is this morph into a leopard? No way able to hold off that. Not a chance.
Why did you drop the poker?
Red hot.
It isn't, you know. Oh, my boy, you're as pale as death.
Why wouldn't he question why he's in the house?
Unhinged. I mean, is breaking into my house at night to read a few of my scribbles an indication of sanity?
True. It's coming. No, you don't look, you run. You get the feck out of there. Stop turning back! Run, man! Yeah, give a logical explanation for that now.
I could have sworn the smoke came after me.
And don't forget Carswell tore out those pages.
Hex. Forget the hex. Let's say something came after.
Thinking of Carlton, it was the Hex Will in Fresh Prince.
Have we got anything in criminal records to cover phantoms and demons?
Not that I know of.
How are they supposed to tackle that when you think
You're
about
right.
it?
Bringing you here.
No, but myself, for not realizing what their attitude was bound to be.
But what did you run from in the woods?
You know, some trick gadget that Carswell had rigged up to frighten me away. And in all cases, we must ask ourselves, do hypnotized people always tell the truth?
When I first investigated this case, the problem of how to hypnotize an unresponsive person was the major one.
Eyelids are getting heavy. Tired. More and more tired.
Ooh.
The one who has brought us the wisdom.
It is the night of the demon.
No. No. In the trees. The smoke and the fire. My time, my lad, is almost over.
Will you die?
The parchment was passed to me. I took it without knowing.
Is this the parchment?
No. It was the only way. I had to return it to him.
Ah.
I didn't want to, but it was the only way I could.
To save yourself, you had to give it back to the one who gave it to you?
Yes. Yes.
That didn't exactly go to plan in the end, did it? But you can see he's absolutely terrified though. But interesting they said that it passed it on to someone else. That's kind of an interesting aspect, but also kind of creepy in his own way.
Dr. Holden, wait. I do not believe he's there.
How do you know?
Mrs. Carswell told me earlier on the telephone. Knowing your attitude, I told her you would not be interested. Are you?
Yes, I am.
She kept saying that all evil must end, but...
Joanna. First stage hypnosis.
Oh, just a convenient way of stopping idle chatter on the train.
I know now that you were right, and I was wrong.
Really?
But there is a way out for me. You always said so. Send this to any newspaper, and photostatic copies to all your followers. Isn't that what you want?
Yes, but it's too late now.
Very well.
No, thank you. I've stopped smoking. There's a certain feeling between you, and you might want to be alone.
Sit down. Your generosity is becoming overwhelming. Staying with me, Carswell.
I just want to be with him when it comes.
You've sold your bill of goods too well, because I believe you now. No! Let him go, Holden.
This man's insane. I must go.
It's all right, Doctor. We're the police. It's Holden.
It's true.
Well, you want your hat and coat, don't you, sir?
My coat. Oh, yes. They're very forgetful of me. Thank you very... You passed them.
Ah, nice.
You slipped them in my pocket.
What, Jurassic Park? Clever girl. Honoring it, serving it. You wonder how scary that was to people back in the 50s. Oh God. Jeez.
There's a man on the track. What's happened? I don't know, but I think the train's hit him.
No.
The train must have hit him and dragged him. You're right. Maybe it's better not to know.
Thinking of the fate you may have had. So the demon took the guy who seemingly, as I said, seemed to be in cahoots with him, with the demon, but no. Okay, that was Night of the Demon, and I thought this was a very good film, and I think it just shows again kind of how atmosphere can bring so much to film. I mean, we see the demon twice, and look, it looks good, but obviously it does look a little dated. However, all the stuff in between that, between the first appearance and the final appearance towards the end, all those other moments that are really unsettling, there's great, like the stuff with the long corridors, there was even some decent kind of jump scares in the film, but it just shows how atmosphere is just underutilized so much, just suggestion and shadows and just, I know it's a cliche, but your own mind conjures up so much tension and you're like, oh, you just the tone, everything, it was done so well, and it just shows, as I'm trying to say, is that like modern films, I think you could learn a thing or two from this, you know what I mean? It doesn't always have to be all the CGI stuff, which I think more often than not, I think doesn't land. You know, it can work, but a lot of them just doesn't land. I thought the acting was really good in it, and I like the idea that when he comes, he's very much a skeptic, and even when like things happen, or strange things happen, he still tries to bring in that logic aspect. It's very much like Spock, you know, and the idea that you can change your fate by giving it to someone else. That's creepy. Like, that could go many ways. You could be very underhanded about that and kind of just hand it to someone else without them knowing, you know. It reminded me a little bit of It Follows, more modern, more recent horror film, where you can pass on basically death, something to come to kill you, by you have to have sex with someone, and by having sex with someone else, you pass it on to them, which obviously was a metaphor, I guess, for you know, sexually transmitted diseases. But that kind of reminded me of that a little bit. You could be sneaky about it, or you could actually tell someone openly and that they need to pass on to someone else. Obviously, if this was a timer on it, a deadline, a certain day. But yeah, I really liked it. I like the atmosphere. I like the settings. British horror films are usually very good, and yeah, this was a fun film. Definitely much enjoyed it. As I said, with some great acting. But guys, let me know in the comments your thoughts on Night of the Demon, and where would this rank among your favorite horror films. Would love to hear your thoughts. But until next time, guys, slán go fóill.